In the 1950s, during the height of the Cold War, governments around the world feared something invisible. Not spies, not soldiers, radiation. Nuclear bombs were being tested at terrifying speeds, and scientists began discovering that radioactive particles were spreading across the planet through the air itself. But then, researchers asked a horrifying question. What happens when radioactive fallout enters the human body? The answer led to one of the darkest secret programs of the Cold War. A project involving human remains, secret research, and the bones of children. Its name was Project Sunshine. And for years, almost nobody knew it existed. To understand Project Sunshine, you first have to understand the world after World War II. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki changed humanity forever. For the first time in history, civilization had created weapons powerful enough to destroy entire cities within seconds. Soon after, the United States and Soviet Union entered a massive nuclear arms race. Bigger bombs, more tests, more destruction. During the 1950s, nuclear explosions became common in remote deserts and oceans around the world. But scientists quickly realized something terrifying. The danger did not end after the blast. Radioactive fallout spread through the atmosphere, rainwater, soil, food, and eventually the human body. One radioactive substance especially worried scientists: strontium-90. Because strontium behaved similarly to calcium, the body could absorb it directly into bones and teeth, especially in children. That discovery caused panic among researchers. If radioactive fallout was entering human skeletons, what would happen to future generations? In the early 1950s, the US government launched a classified research project called Project Sunshine. Officially, the goal was scientific. Researchers wanted to measure how much radioactive fallout was entering human populations worldwide. But there was one problem. To study strontium-90 accumulation, scientists needed human bones. A lot of them, especially from infants and young children whose growing bodies absorbed calcium rapidly. And that is where the story becomes disturbing. Over time, reports revealed researchers collected thousands of human tissue samples from around the world. Bones, organs, even body parts from deceased children. Some samples reportedly came from hospitals, morgues, and medical institutions. But according to later investigations, many families were never fully informed. Some parents allegedly did not even know body parts had been removed from their deceased children. The project operated under intense secrecy. Officials feared public outrage if people discovered radioactive fallout was contaminating human bodies on a global scale. So Project Sunshine remained hidden from the public for years. As nuclear testing increased, radioactive fallout spread farther across the planet. Scientists began detecting radioactive particles in milk, rainwater, crops, and human tissue. The contamination was invisible. People could not see it, could not smell it, could not feel it. That made it even more terrifying. Researchers involved in Project Sunshine gathered samples from multiple countries to track how fallout moved through populations, and what they found alarmed them. Radioactive materials from nuclear tests were entering ordinary human bodies worldwide, especially children. At the same time, governments continued detonating nuclear weapons in the atmosphere. Some explosions were so powerful they changed environmental conditions across huge distances. public fear slowly began growing. Parents became increasingly worried about radiation exposure, especially after studies revealed radioactive isotopes were appearing in children's teeth and bones. For many people, the nuclear age no longer felt distant, it felt personal. Years later, when details about Project Sunshine became public, outrage spread quickly. People were horrified by the idea that human remains had been secretly collected, body parts from children had been studied, and families may not have fully understood what happened. Critics accused governments and researchers of crossing serious ethical boundaries. Others defended the research, arguing scientists were trying to understand the dangers of radioactive fallout before millions more people were exposed. And scientifically, the research did help reveal how nuclear contamination spread globally. Some historians believe public awareness of fallout dangers eventually helped pressure governments into limiting atmospheric nuclear testing. But for many people, one question remained. Did fear of nuclear war push governments too far? Because Project Sunshine became part of a larger pattern during the Cold War, a period filled with secret experiments, classified programs, and government research hidden from the public. Fear changed what authorities considered acceptable, and sometimes morality disappeared behind national security. Today, Project Sunshine remains one of the lesser-known secrets of the Cold War, not because it lacked importance, but because it revealed something deeply uncomfortable about the nuclear age. While ordinary people tried to live normal lives, governments and scientists were secretly studying radioactive contamination inside human bones, including the bones of children. The story of Project Sunshine is disturbing not only because of what happened, but because it shows how fear can transform entire societies. During the Cold War, nations believed nuclear destruction could happen at any moment, and under that fear, ethical boundaries became dangerously blurred, because sometimes the darkest secrets in history are not hidden underground. Sometimes they are hidden behind science, secrecy, and fear itself.